Hi, my name is Diana Ferris. We're going to talk today about online assessment and how to add passages and questions for an online assessment. In a previous video, we've talked about multiple choice questions for math and science. Today, we're going to talk about English language arts or other areas, such as science, where you would like to add a passage. In order to begin, go to the drop-down menu in the Applications menu and go to Assessments. From there, go to the left-hand menu and choose Question Bank. You can see your options at the bottom, Passage View and New Passage. You can go to either one of these in order to create a new passage. You do need to enter your grade. I'm going to go to 7th grade, and your course. I'm going to English Language Arts, Reading and Writing. I'll show you how to go to Passage View. And from here, you can click New Passage. You can also just click New Passage from this area. Now I'm ready to enter a passage. You'll want to enter a passage name. I've already entered this one, so I'm going to choose An Unexpected Party. You'll need to choose a language. I'm going to choose English. You choose either English or Spanish, and if this was an oral presentation to a student, this is the language in which it would be read to the student. You'll notice the access levels. Default is checked. If I uncheck that, I can choose different permissions for different groups. Using the drop-down menu, you can see I can give different permissions such as View and Edit, View and Clone, View Only, or None to different groups: district, campus, teacher. If I don't want anyone else to see it, I can say Only Me. I can also say Do Not Read Aloud. Now I'm ready to type in the directions. You can use the toolbar and format these directions in any manner you want to. The information box is used for the passage. You can type all of your passage in, or if you've already saved it on a Word document or another type of document, you can go to the text clipboard and paste it in. I've already copied, so I can just paste that in and say OK. Now, I may want to format this. For instance, if I'm going to ask a question about a particular word or a particular sentence, I can go back in and underline that word. And I can also insert an image if that's part of the passage by clicking on the image icon. I want to choose my file, click on Open, and now if I need to edit that, I can go to Advanced. I can change the sizes. I can also add text in this area if I want some of the text read to my students about this particular image. So I'm just going to put in Hobbit House and say OK. I can see my image. I can move it if I want to anywhere within the area. I can reformat this, and any changes I make will be reflected in the passage. You may also add content support. For instance, the paragraph may have a word that's not commonly known and it's not part of the question. For instance, in this case, if a student didn't know what a hobbit was, I would want to put my cursor in front of the word or the phrase that I want to be defined in the content support. Go to the icon for content support, which is this little paragraph or bubble type thing. Click on that, and you can see you have a choice of pop-up or rollover. So I'm going to type in the word hobbit. I've already copied the definition I want, so I'm just going to paste that in here, and I can say OK. The student would click on the word hobbit and see the definition. I can also do the same thing as a rollover and say OK, and you can see you get a message that says the content is saved. Click on OK. Now you can see I've got the word as well as the typed word. I'll want to get rid of the typed word just simply by deleting that. Students who do not have this accommodation will not see this word highlighted, but they would still see the word. I can now preview this by clicking on Preview. Using the drop-down arrow, I can see my passage. And now I can see, if I roll over it, I'll see the definition. And this is what the students would see as well that have this particular accommodation. I can choose to save this. I can choose to save and go back. I can choose to save and create another new passage. I can also at this time add a new question that will be relevant to this passage. If questions had already been created, you could click on View Questions. I'm going to choose Add a New Question. You can see the title of the passage. You'll want to click Question Type. Be sure to enter the correct answer. I'm going to put my correct answer as A. You'll want Reporting Category. Choose the language. From here, you can choose any of this information. This will be reflected in the analytics. So if I wanted to put question level, I could do that. Depth of knowledge level, Bloom's taxonomy, and I could also enter a keyword. I'll want to add the content SEs. You can see the grade is filled in, the course is filled in. Using the drop-down menu, I get a list of the SEs. I can click on one of those, check on Add, and you can see that has been added. If there are process SEs, you would follow the same order. Click on the SE list, click on the appropriate SE, and click on Add. I'm now ready to type in my question, or I could have copied and pasted it again as I showed you how to do when you were typing in the passage. So I'm going to type in, what is a portal? As I said earlier, I want the correct answer to be in the first choice, so I'm going to put that in choice 1. Fill in the remaining answers. And now you're ready to save. You can also preview how the questions will look to the student. Using the drop-down menu, you can see the passage, how the student will view that, the question, and the answers. I can now save this and create another question for this particular passage. When I'm finished creating all of my questions for this passage, I will be sure to save and then close. This passage and the questions will now be a part of the item bank, so I can save and go back. You'll see different passages that have already been loaded by different item banks. So I want to find my passage. In order to do that, I go to the originator and I click on District Bank. District Bank will hold all of the passages that have been created by district users, teachers, coordinators, whomever, and as long as the permissions have been given appropriately when I created the passage as I showed you, I'll be able to see the passage I created. So I want to click on District Bank and then click on Search. You can see my passage has appeared. Now, I can use the icons adjacent to that to get different information. I can see the speech preview and play what the students would hear. I can look at the magnifying icon and view my passage. This is how the students would see it online. I can edit my passage. If there was something there that I wanted to change, I would just click on the pencil icon, make my changes, and then click Save and go back. If there were already questions there, I could view the questions. I could add additional questions, or perhaps I just saved the passage and I had not added questions earlier. This would be the time I could now add questions to this passage. If I don't like the passage at all, or I want to delete it, I can use the trash can icon. I can also use this icon to provide feedback to editants. When I'm through, if I want to preview the passage and the question as well as the answers, I can click on the magnifying glass, click on the drop-down menu, and I will see exactly what the students will see when they take this test online. Also, there may be times when a user wants to link questions to existing passages or to unlink questions from passages. In order to do that, select the test and go to the Edit Assessment icon. Click on New Question. You can now link a question to a passage by clicking on the icon that says Link a Passage. Once there, fill in the information and click on the search icon. When you have located the specific passage that you want to link the question to, click on the green arrow and click on Update. Now you can fill in all of the information as stated previously in this video. This question will now be linked to that passage. There may be times you also want to unlink a question from a passage. So once again, go to the Edit Assessment icon on the test that you choose, go to the bottom of the page, and choose Select Questions. From there, click on the down arrow on the right-hand side, go to the Edit icon, and now at this point, you can unlink the passage from that particular question. Once you have done that, be sure to click on Save. This is how you create new passages, new questions, how you can link those passages and questions, as well as unlink them. Thank you for your time.